All right, this is PreMarket Prep at the close. I'm Spencer Israel. He's Joel Elconin. Joel, we were pretty bearish, or you guys were pretty bearish
I
this morning, but we have held the lows here today. 3 o'clock sell off notwithstanding. The big tech stocks, the major indices have held the lows. This does not look that bad to me. What are your thoughts?
the technical Spencer Israel technical analysis 101.
Yeah.
He's identifying the lows from last week in the S&P futures. He sees that we tried to do it overnight, we couldn't do it. We tried again several times today and we couldn't do it. And now we're bouncing up towards the middle of the range, which also happens to be mid-range on the day. So looking at the daily chart over here, 3,300 was breached once last week. Actually twice last week, last Thursday and last Tuesday. And we come down today. Now we're 40 handles off it. I don't think it's a bad setup either. I think you have an identifiable out here under 3,300. It's 40 handles away now, as opposed to when you were talking about it initially. But I see that, and then you see the clear resistance up there at the highs for the week, 3,400, 3,419 in change is what we hit yesterday. So not a bad setup here. Kind of feels like they're going to fluff them up for the expiration tomorrow, and we'll see if it can hold those gains. Let's look at the crude oil market. Back in the 40 handle, up 91 cents at 41.07. Getting all those losses back from that that bad 5-day stretch. Gold just seems can't get away from 1950 here, down $16.50 at 1954. Silver in the red by 21.6 cents at 27.26, and Bitcoin kind of quiet too. That's down $65 at 10,950. So I guess when a company says that they're going bankrupt and you can hit it down a buck on the day, I guess should do that all day long.
I guess you're referring to Dave and Buster's. Yeah, again, I wasn't even positive that this was new information, considering that they had earnings a week ago. But yeah, we did discuss this morning, and I don't know. You don't often see moves not get priced in like this in the pre-market, but that's what happened today because Dave and Buster's they just decided at 9:30, and then again at noon that they were going to just
Yeah.
sell.
And and
Sell.
Triple D, I know he shied away from it. He was like, well, companies going bankrupt usually don't trade $17. And
Well,
actually
there
when
it's not. It's not. There you go.
they don't. They don't. Off the open. Let's see how this traded. Gap down off the open. I remember when we talked about it on the show, I just said, hey, we got under 16, but we had rallied back to 1750. It looked like there was a little support there. So you took some heat off the open. If you shorted it in the hole, 1642, you would have had to ride it up to 1737. So that would have been some heat on that trade. But if you would have caught it coming back down through that open at 16 and change, that would have been a heatless trade down to 1301. And now trying to get back into $14 handle. So not good. How did the sympathy plays in this? How C's that's in the red by 26 cents. Six Flags.
I
What's
don't
that?
know if I don't know if I would say those are sympathy plays on this headline. This is a pretty company specific headline here.
Yeah, but I'm just talking, entertainment, leisure,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
we haven't looked at like six like SIX or FUN.
Right.
We haven't looked at those for a while.
They're getting hit a little bit, but yeah, they're getting funds holding up. So yeah, you're right. A little more issue specific. I was just thinking more of the lines of entertainment, kid entertainment, and those places definitely fall into that category.
Sure. So if you look at the daily charts here of big tech, right, of our leaders, they all pretty much did the same thing today. I mean, they're all showing gap downs on the daily, but they all held the levels,
Pretty much,
the
yeah.
key levels from early August / late July, right? Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft. I mean, all the charts look pretty similar. They all held. That makes me feel okay here.
Yeah, they took out the 110. They went to 109 and change, and then they brought it back up. So you did break to below the 110. So that's bad.
Mm.
That's bad, but you might close above it. Let's see, Mr. Softy, that seems to be holding right in here. 200. That hit 200 on the nose. That hit boom, boom. I'd hit 199.96. You're getting a bounce there. You can see this other support at 200 as well. So that's important. Now, Amazon, we were talking about the importance of that holding a 3,100 yesterday. No can do, gap down. Do we have some bad news on Amazon today, or is it just follow through when it lost that 3,100? Now under 3,000 here for the first time since the end of July. So that chart doesn't look so good. New low on the move. Let's look at the Googster. I look at the Goog without the L, and new low for the move. Get down. That chart doesn't looking so good either. And Facebook with 2 days with Kim Kardashian off. This is a very important level here. This is where you had the gap and go from earnings, and the gap 247. I think it was earnings. 247.43 has been the low. How low did you get today? You got to 250.19. So some important levels here. I'm not as confident here in these tech stocks as you are, Mr. Israel.
Well, Joel, you always say that the close matters most, and all these stocks are set to close at or above those support levels, right? I guess
Yes, they're at them.
right.
They're at them. They're at them, but they're not away from them. So that I'm mixed, Spencer. I mean, overall, I still think we got more under correction on the downside. You've seen identify out. We're holding last week's low. Let's see if the Friday follow through. I doubt, and I don't want to, stick my foot in my mouth, but a lot of times you close on the highs for the week or on the lows for the week. Well, the high in the S&Ps are almost 80 points away from here. An 80-point rally in the S&Ps is no big deal. But we're much closer to the lows for the week. And the low for the week, as I mentioned, is 32.10 and a quarter. And then you have those lows for last week. So if you have the Friday, Monday, or the Friday follow through, and you're going base closer to the highs of the lows, then just on a mathematical basis, I'm leaning toward the lows. Also with a quad, which tomorrow there should be some fireworks.
All right, so looking around, seeing what's green, not a lot of green here today, mostly red, some random pockets of strength in the industrials, GE.
What is going on with GE? Are they like a new company now? Tell me, Spencer. What's going on with
I'm
GE?
not really
Some
sure.
news.
I'm not really sure. I know they had some.
Go to Pro and tell me what's going on with it.
I'm let's see here. Okay, so I go into the Pro.
Culp said something yesterday.
Yeah, right. That was yesterday. That wasn't today. But Larry Culp said that they're on their cost saving plan is on track, and they're expect to be cash flow positive in the second half of their fiscal year. That was yesterday though, so maybe
follow through.
Yeah, follow through from that. But
the old 2-day move. $6. I mean, that was your defined support late July, early August. Find institutional buyers there. Now we'll see if they're just renting this stock, and this will be very important tomorrow. They squeezed, all the shorts out here. You made a high at 718, and what do you know? What do you have here? 721, 718, 715. Boom, 715. So right there is your major level for GE. That's a big move. Over what 20% and 10%. Yeah, 20% in 2 days.
yeah,
To see if GE can clear that 720 level, or if it was just rented for a short-term trade.
you also got some strength in CVS is up, Walgreens is up. Here's one that makes sense though. Ford. What is Ford up today? Ford is up about 4%.
Big move.
Yeah, that's a big move for a sleepy stock like Ford. And they announced a fully electric F-150 coming in 2022, complete with over-the-air cloud updates. It's what you want to hear. We know I've been saying we're in an electric vehicle bubble, and add Ford to the list.
Yeah, nice, very nice. Probably one of the best days Ford's had in months, up 4% in a market that is down a couple percent, I believe. No, down 1%. So excellent relative strength here in Ford. Once again, just jumped around $7, finally held $7 today, and then boom, off to the races. You're looking at 740. You got it clear. You got a pair of highs here. Today's high comes in at 7? We're right near the high of the session. 734. You see this pesky high here, 737, 738. Also back in early July, high at 740, and then also right below that at 734. There's probably like a zillion shares for sale at 750. That's just the way Ford trades. So we'll see if this is actually a move, or we'll just fade back down to $7.
I have one more on my list, and then we'll get to the chat here. I want to talk about Tiffany. Recall that they had a deal to be acquired by Louis Vuitton from last year. Looks like Louis Vuitton is doing whatever they can to back out of this deal. It's been in the courts, and there are some headlines today about what steps they've taken to try and wiggle their way out of this deal. If Tiffany was 95 to 100 before the deal and 130 after, and now it's down to 115, so it's really in the midpoint of this range.
Yeah,
going back 11 months.
Coin flip here. Really, a coin flip here. So you seem like the deal's off, but the street's not totally convinced. I just don't know if there's somebody else. I don't know who the hell would be thinking of buying Tiffany's. I mean, I looked at the chart on Louis Vuitton. That stock's doing great. I don't know. Just someone just thinks there's either chance for a deal, or there's another suitor out there. But you're right. Where did it go? That was the point of origin when the deal came out was around $90. So theoretically, it should be there. Just being hard being shorted with if the regulators or the courts force them to do the deal, which I don't know if they can, if they had a good out or not. But kind of in the middle of no man's land here.
And going to the chat now. Also, I mentioned Walgreens and CVS, but Rite Aid, same. They all trade together. They're all up today, so I didn't want to leave.
Little rotation. Rite Aid, the stock bounces around. CVS, the owner of Aetna now, made that low yesterday, kind of undercut the low from 2 days ago on Wednesday, and that's a nice rally. Right at your 3-day high, so this is important, 58.61. That was your high on Tuesday. Today's high, 58.68, right there, right now. That's what you need to open up, perhaps to get to the $60 area. Walgreens, Boots, Alliance, good day for that. A couple good days, not a bad week at all for this stock. Started out just over 34, and now, trying to get to 38, but nice move. Once again, are these stocks just being rented for a short-term trade, or have they actually turned in trend?
Easy Mike, you're talking about Sam Adams. I remember writing about this one, I guess it was a year ago now, because there was this huge dichotomy between Sam Adams and the rest of the beer companies. But if you look at Sam versus TAP, for example, TAP, they're inversely correlated. But Sam Adams here.
Help me out. Help me out this symbol.
SAM.
I should have known that.
Boston beer, not Sam Adams. Boston.
Oh, look at $900. $900. That's all I can say about this. 900. Haven't quite got there today. Three highs in the same area. 900 looks like the all-time high. Everyone must be drinking this. Closing up closer to 900. I just don't know when they have earnings or what the catalyst will be. Today's high, 888.20. But yeah, if this thing does blow through 900, that's a breakout.
It's just great, boy. Because if you look at Sam versus like BUD or versus TAP, it's just completely different.
What are the they have a couple different brews, right? They have the Samuel Adams Lager. What else?
All these breweries own. They all own a massive amount of.
Yeah, resistance is resistance until it's taken out.
Yeah. All right. To the chat, let's see what tickers we got. SunPower, SPWR. I'm looking at this one for a little bit.
Solar. Oh, well, had the gap.
Well, did not hold support.
Well, I mean, theoretically, it's trying to work its way into the gap area. 995 was your low. Today's low 990. So boom, there's a lot of air in here. I don't know if that was a gap up before earnings, but your first gap is 946. And then there's just air under here. It's compressed. So if you're bullish this, you want to see it open up, hold 10 tomorrow and rally. If not, I can see this drifting lower $9 or uh under 9.8, but this is not a good area, to be long in, and doesn't look like it's trying to get away from it anytime soon.
All right, I've got a stock for you that looks like it is knocking on the door of a gap. We know stocks. Well,
Let's
we talk
hit
about
me.
gaps because we know stocks like to fill in gaps eventually. How about our old friends, or maybe they're our new friends? I don't know. Eastman Kodak, KODK, is knocking on the door of a gap. It had a gap down, and it is right there at the bottom of that gap right now.
Yeah,
It is
boy.
right there. Don't deny it. You know it's true.
$11 hit 1104, and you're talking about the void in price up to 1457. So you did have a couple other intermediary highs in there. 13. This is a tough one. I don't know. I don't think I want to be long it or short it. On the downside here, it did make a double bottom after some news. So holding $8 is good. Wow, that's a $1.50 away. Definitely in no man's land here. Hands off on Kodak.
All right, Akash is right. We definitely did ban Kodak from the show, but they've been unbanned and rebanned and unbanned and rebanned, and now they're unbanned. I'm not really sure. What else do people in the chat have on their minds? Pepsi. Okay, I feel like maybe we discussed this a couple days ago, or maybe the week I left, and I don't remember. But
Someone cut their price target on it. Was it today or
I
yesterday?
thought that was yesterday. Let me get the firm for you. Was it
Mm,
Canaccord yesterday? It was someone. I saw what you saw.
Canaccord
No,
Genuity.
I know. I don't know if it was them. I saw what you saw.
Yeah, busted that 135 was holding a couple lows right under it, gap down. I guess you could still call this support if you're looking at it. 132.15, the low for today. Or excuse me, the low going back. You got the 131.69. I mean, to me, I'd be much more comfortable saying, hey, I'll try and short this thing anything near 135. As opposed to waiting for it to come down here to a 130 buy. But definitely hit on that price target cut, which is kind of unusual. How's Coca-Cola moving? Coca-Cola. That's trying to move up, hit $50 today. Not a great day for Coca-Cola. Needs to hold 50 tomorrow. You got three highs in the same area on the upside, just over 51. Let's call it 51.30. Pretty good resistance in Coca-Cola.
All right, so Joey, we've got a quad witch tomorrow. Explain quickly how that can screw with markets.
It's just there. I don't know with the volatility that Dennis talked about. The pinning may not have as much action, but when you have you have the stock index futures, you have stock index options, stock options, and single stock futures, which are not as as relevant, all expiring at the same time here. There's a lot of volatility, and I just. I don't know. We're near the lows for the week. We had the big down open today, so it's not as much. I don't know. I think they'll just try and squeeze them higher in the morning and then fade them during the day. But everyone that was in the contracts that want to maintain their position and need to roll over the contracts. That's why you had some air pockets in the futures. You really felt it over the last 4 or 5 days. So also they mark major turning points in the market. March marked, a bottom, in June was a bottom too. September expiration. We shall see whether or not this is a little sell-off to rally into the end of the year, or we got some more work to do on the downside.
All right, we've got the latest Benzinga Cannabis Hour happening right after we're done here. So stay tuned on the Benzinga YouTube channel for that. That'll be a wrap for Joel and I. Good. Hope everyone had a good day out there. It was a bit of a wild one here, but I'm feeling better now than I was this morning as far as where we stand. on the markets. You can catch a replay of this and every other show on our YouTube channel. Please remember, all the information from our broadcasts are meant to be used as informational purposes and not for investing or trading advice. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Our guest will be Jason Raznick. Until then, everyone, have a good rest of your day and stay safe.